So if I was a brand new real estate agent, the question is, well, Brandon, what would you do to go out there and get your first listing? And Ben, the problem with today's conversation that we're going to have is it's going to make a lot of people in this industry mad. Why? Because here's the unfortunate truth. Not everyone, but the vast majority of the people in the real estate sales business are not savvy entrepreneurs. They just aren't business people. And so for that reason, there are going to be some people who watch and listen to this episode who are like, dude, that makes all the sense in the world. But there's going to be a large portion. I bet you come back a week or two and the comments are going to be filled with people that this just really get upset with this. Why? Again, it's because they are short-sighted. But we'll see. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. So we're going to talk about, over the next 30 to 45 minutes, what I would do if I was a brand new real estate agent, had no clients, no listings. How would I actually go out there and start to build my business? So, what is it, you ask? I would list my first property for free. There, I said it. I'd go out there in the marketplace and I would list it for free. Now, people are going to freak out. But here's the thing. When we hear people in other industries talk about this, like a Hormozy, hey, go work with your first 3 or 4 or 5 clients for free and then start to build a reputation, start to build a brand, start to build some testimonials, et cetera, et cetera. They're like, yeah, that makes sense. And then when you talk about it in real estate, it's like, we can't do that because of this, and this. And I want to talk about, for the next 45 minutes, why I would do this, what I would do, how I would leverage this, et cetera, et cetera. Your initial thoughts on this?
Genius. I mean, I've thought the same thing. There's, we'll get into the weeds, but on Instagram, there's these really cool stories of these guys knocking on doors and they go, hey, don't hate me, but I see that your lawn is like super overgrown. Completely for free, I would love to just clean it up for you. And they're like, for free? Yeah. I would just did a lawn across the street. I have some extra time. Do you mind if I just do it for you for free? Now, they ask for one thing in exchange, and that's kind of like what we're about to talk all about. So I want to dig into all that stuff. But yeah, we get to see that, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking. I know you can't hear me that well right now, but I'm looking for the book Influence by Dr. Cialdini. I don't know if you can grab yours. There you go. Yeah, that's one of them. Instant Influence. But there's another one too. And he talks a lot about the law of reciprocity. And that's what you're referring to. And so the studies by all the social psychologists found that the law of reciprocity works well when people know why you're doing what it is that you're doing. They know why you're making an offer like this, because if you don't, it actually can backfire, right? It seems like kind of like the whole too good to be true. But when you're really clear, hey, I'm doing this because of X, Y, and Z, then it's an equal exchange of value. So let's talk about it. I'm a brand new real estate agent. I have nothing. I've got no clients. I have no momentum. Why would I go out there and secure a listing for free? Well, number one, we have to look at the friction. The friction. What happens with most new real estate agents is it takes them so long to get any type of momentum that their confidence is totally shot. And so that's why you would do it, is to come out of the gate and start to build some experience, build confidence, start to build some momentum. And as a result of that, this is how I would leverage this thing. All right. So I'll get through all of this and then love to get your thoughts. All right. So I wrote down a bunch of stuff I want to share with the audience. And again, I've talked to so many brokers about this and they give me pushback on it. It's like, dude, listen, here are the options. You have a brand new real estate agent on your team or at your company they can either struggle for months and go out there and try to compete with top agents or try to go out there and do this and that and the other thing, or you can get them a quick win. And as a leader, my goal is to get my team members quick wins so they can start to build confidence and build momentum. So here's what I would have this agent do. I'd have them go out there, okay, find the hand raisers in the market, secure the listing, and the offer would be under, the compensation would be $0 in exchange for, number one, at the end of this thing, a video testimonial. All right, and I'm going to come back to that. Here's how I would leverage this. Because the short-sighted, lack of business savvy person doesn't understand this. They only look at it like per transaction because they're so attached to the commission that they don't understand long-term. I'm going to leverage this one client experience to get clients for years. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do one deal for free, and as a result, I'm going to do tons of transactions and get paid. That's the thing, Mr. and Mrs. Broker that have a tough time with this. Get your new agent to go out there and handle one client for free. Get them some really good experience. Get them some really good exposure. Get your brokerage some good exposure. Go out there, help them secure the business. Help them give this person a great client experience so that they can turn one client into 10, 20, 30, 40 deals in the future. How is this? Number one, I'm going to do a private open house. I'm going to do a private open house event where I'm going to leverage that opportunity, Ben, to meet every single homeowner in that neighborhood. And if I don't meet them face to face, I'm going to have at least a voice-to-voice conversation with them. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to say, listen, I'm doing a private event for neighbors only so that get your feedback. Mr. and Mrs. Jones have asked me to invite all of the neighbors so that we can get your guys' feedback on the price and on the condition and what you think about the way that we're positioned in the market. And there's a lot of upside to that. So private event. I'm going to leverage the private event to serve hand raisers. What do you mean, Brandon? Well, all of the old expireds, canceleds, and withdrawns in that area that are no longer on the market, I am going to communicate with them, Ben, to get them at my private event to see how an agent that maybe is more aggressive when it comes to the marketing, how they might handle the listing. In this case, it's me, right? So I'm going to invite all of the old expireds, cancels, withdrawn. I'm going to invite all of the absentee owners, the people who have rentals in the area, the people who have inherited properties in the area, et cetera, et cetera. Because a lot of those people, as we know, will sell those houses in the future. I'm going to invite all of the local for sale by owners to see how I represent the property. So I'm going to leverage the private open house events for future listing opportunities. Number two, of course, I'm going to do public events. Of course, I'm going to do all the public open house events. Number three, I'm going to shoot a high quality 2-minute listing commercial. And I'm going to tell the story of the property through the lens of the homeowner. And here's what I'm going to do with this video. I'm going to fully optimize the 2-minute commercial on YouTube. And this thing's going to get tens of thousands of views for years and 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 years. Now, Mr. Broker, you're starting to see the power of why this agent would go out there and secure a listing for free. I'm going to put it on Instagram as a pinned post. So it's the first thing all of my audience members see. I'm going to run ads at every local movie theater. No one even thinks about this. Luxury listing agents are getting tons of listings through advertising at local movie theaters. We just helped a coaching client with this last week. And it's so super cheap that you could put your ads in front of the right viewers at the movie theater and they can see you on the big screen. Yeah, that's right, because you got a free listing. I'm going to run Facebook and Instagram ads, and I'm going to get tens of thousands of impressions, Ben, in my local market, positioning me, this new agent with this listing, in a way that positions me as the local market authority. I'm then going to have 4 15 to 30 second shorts that I'm going to put on Instagram and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and let the algorithm just take me to the moon. I'll get tens of thousands of views on those. And then, yes, at the end of this, well, why are you going to do this for free, Mr. Agent? Well, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm a new, hungry real estate sales professional. My goal is to build my business and to serve people in this community. And if you are open to this opportunity, what I would ask from you in exchange is two things. One is at the end of this thing is to give me a video testimonial where you and Mrs. Seller can get on video and talk about the experience you had with me, number one. And then number two, write a letter to the neighbors telling them about the experience you had with me. So then, Ben, I can take that letter, mail it on the behalf of the seller. Because if I say I'm great, do you believe me? No, you don't. But it's a third party endorsement. And I'm going to leverage that third party endorsement for years and years and years to come. Okay, I digress. That's my mindset on this. Give me your thoughts.
Let me challenge everybody on this, broker, agent, anybody that doesn't think that, and I'm going to hit my fancy button here, that because it's a 4-letter word, that we shouldn't sell it for free.
Yeah,
but
that's great.
Here's the deal. What happens if you are new and you are bad and you don't get the property sold and you worked on this for 90 days? What did you do?
You worked for free.
So why not just work for free and get a really good result?
Such a great point. Such a great point. I wish I had put that at the beginning of the video.
So
there's
something else that I know the
Ben,
tactical things that you said are all like really clear on how to get it sold, but just another thing that I really think about a lot on why we might want to do this for free. I think about experience in an industry, right? How long have you been in the industry? People put a lot of weight on that. However, typically it's related to volume, right? So if you have a W-2 job, you've been in the industry for 10 years, you've been doing a role, you have a standard operating procedure, you have standards that the company's holding you to. So it makes sense 10 years is a good way to measure that. In our business, I mean, I know plenty of agents that have been licensed for 20 years and never done a deal.
That's right.
So let's actually measure experience based on volume. Okay, so I'll get to the point. The point is the average agent does what? I know it's 4. Let's round it up to 7 deals.
Sure.
So every year. So if you've got 3 years of experience, that's 21 deals. So how fast can I get 1 year of experience? What if you gave away these deals for free, right? And you did it in exchange for all the things you talked about, which is exactly why we're going to do this. But now you could do 7 deals in 2 months and get 1 year of experience in 2 months versus waiting 3 years, 2 years to the point. Does that make sense? And why we want to do this to hyper speed this growth?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we know the best way to build momentum in an agent's business is to have a listing that we can leverage.
That's right.
And so the thing to your point and what you're saying is you might want to go out there and do 5, 6, 7 of your first listings for free. Why? To really fast track your momentum. We know that every time we get a listing, you can get 2, 3, 4 more clients in the next couple of months through that listing. So to your point, and you're so right, and you're so spot on, the brand new first year agent, I mean, they're doing 4 or 5 deals and it's like very difficult. I mean, very difficult for them to get to those. And it's like, you could do this really quick. If you have the support of a coach, a mentor, a broker, a team leader that understands this and has a long-term mindset and is not just trying to hit a home run off of you as the new agent on your first deal when you sell Uncle Bob's house, right? And has a long-term mindset who really wants you to be successful, in the first 90 days, you could get the experience that it would normally take you 1 or 2 years. It's a great point.
So I don't know. We look at other professions. I was just talking to a friend who's going through dental school. They give away, hey, we will do it for free if you let us put a crown or whatever, fill a cavity for you, right? So just to double down on this, and the only other thing I said is money is not everybody's like currency. So the prospect is really going to value saving that money, But for you, the currency is going to be these testimonials. It's going to be the experience you get. It's going to be all those other things. So just keep that in mind when you say, man, but I need the 10 grand. Well, trust me, it will come if you're willing to delay it a little bit.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I always tell people, like, getting started is much harder than like scaling. Like it just is. You know what I mean? Because think about this. For anybody that this is just, they just cannot believe that we would say something like this. Think about this. If they're the brand new agent, first off, there's a widespread issue that new realtors, it's like they're not going to go list property. They're going to go be a buyer's agent. Well, that just plays right into this fallacy of lies that are being told to realtors that keep them from the truth. And the truth is, to really reap the rewards of this business, it's to be on the listing side. And so, especially now with all the changes in the industry, I mean, you cannot convince me of that otherwise. And as a result of that, the brand new agent, if you're not going to do this, you're going to make the argument, no, this is stupid. Okay, cool. I think you'd agree that you want an agent to go out there and secure listings. And if that's true, how hard is that going to be? When they go in there and they say, okay, that you charge exactly the same amount as somebody that is way more skilled than you, with way more experience than you, how is that agent going to get the win? How do you think that agent's going to beat out another agent with way more experience? Like, you're setting that agent up for a huge uphill battle. You just are. So how are you going to help the agent answer? Well, yeah, to your point, how many houses have you sold? 0. Why would I list my house with you then? You've never done this before. And the way to get in front of that is to use that as the value proposition. That's right. What we're talking about. Instead of hiding behind it, well, my brokerage has sold. Yeah, no. How many houses have you sold? So you get in front of it. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm brand new. And that's the reason why you should hire me. And then you can have a clear exchange of value. Because I'm new, because I'm looking to build my business, I'm going to have this support to make sure that this thing's done right. I'm going to do it for free. And in exchange, I think it's very fair to do the things that we just talked about. And again, I just don't know why so many people have such a hard time with this concept. Because to your point, in every single other industry, you see the local smoothie store that go up in the corner. They're giving away free smoothies from 2 to 3 every day. And no one bats an eye at that. Why? Because those are business people. They're entrepreneurs. They're thinking about, okay, I've got to get people in my store. I've got to get word of mouth. I've got to get people talking about this. I have to give good people an experience. They've got to taste it so that they can come back for more. Well, why is that so hard to understand in this business? Why would you not take the same strategy that every industry out there deploys to start to build their business? Why would you not do the same thing? Why would you hold a brand new real estate agent back for, I don't know, ego or I don't know what it is? I just can't make a case on why you would not do this. Can you think of an argument that people are going to have in the comments as soon as we upload this to YouTube? Like why a new agent would not do this?
Yeah, I think it comes from, well, maybe they play like a lawsuit or liability or this, that, and the other, maybe. But
well, and that's where I was going with it too. But your point that you made about 5 minutes ago is every agent signs up to work for free until you don't.
Yeah. It's commissioned, 100% performance based.
Exactly. So the whole lawsuit and the legal thing, and we're taking on this risk, that risk, right? But you only not have the risk if the agent sells the house. So the risk is there no matter what, whether you listed it for free or you listed it for 25%. Until a sale is consummated, you still have that risk. So it doesn't change the fact.
So the beautiful thing is what we're talking about is framing this the right way. So as a new agent, right, you go in there and trust me, I was that 18-year-old agent. You think I look young now at, I don't even know how old I am, 34. Think how young I looked when I was 18 years old. I looked like I was 10 years old, right?
Yeah, because you look 18 right now.
That's my point. Yeah. So when you sit down with these people, I was so keen to put, I didn't get this deal, I didn't get this listing because they think I'm young. Then they ask me, well, Ben, how old are you? How long have you been doing this? How many homes have you sold? It's because I was sitting there super nervous.
Exactly.
Once I got some experience, once I really got some traction, I walked in there, same young face, but I carried myself so much different. So what we can do is we can get in there and we can take the words out of their mouth. Brandon, I know what you're sitting there thinking. You're thinking, geez, Ben, you look 12. Gosh, you could, there's no way you've sold more than 2 homes. There's no way you've been in this industry more than 5 minutes. Like, I gave you the time of day, but like, let's just both be honest. Like, we know how this is going to end. If you get ahead of that and you say, yeah, Brandon, I know you think I'm young. I know I haven't sold a bunch of homes, but let me tell you what I'm willing to do and why you might consider it. And
So
you
good.
lay this out.
You run the 8 mile. You run the 8 mile. It's like, because most agents go in there. Okay, so if anyone's going to argue this, then let's have some real talk.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If you're going to argue going in there and being honest with somebody and telling the truth, and you think it's better to teach the agent how to manipulate to get around to not tell someone that you're new, don't tell the seller that you've never sold a house before. Say this.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's your argument, is to actually promote being misleading? That's your argument, is rather than go out there and be transparent that the agent is new and is inexperienced. In exchange, I'm willing to do this for free. You, the broker, are going to say, no, I'm actually going to promote from a leadership perspective. I'm going to go out there and tell my agents to lie directly to the consumer. That's your strategy. And then the other thing that you said, that you said is like the new agent who is being asked to go out there and not be honest, they live with imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
They live in this world of guilt. Because it's like, man, I kind of misled the seller on like a lot of the stuff, and I don't really know kind of what I'm doing. And now they have to live this lie versus just being transparent and own it, get in front of it, to your point, and then it's clear. Yes, they're getting an inexperienced agent for free. It's very, very equal. Instead of going there and the seller getting an inexperienced new agent and the seller thinking that you are experienced. That's my issue with someone who has this. You know what I mean? And that's, it's like, you can't argue the fact of like having integrity is a bad thing. If you're going to make the argument, no, you shouldn't do this for free. And, like, we're teaching our agents how to respond to the objection. How many houses have you sold? And it's a line of BS. Shame on you. Bad leadership. Like, you're really going to go out there and teach your agents, mislead people, lie to people. That's our brand. You're kidding me. I just can't. I can't stand for that.
I've got a couple of thoughts, but the thing that I think we have to consider is if we set the expectation, and there are issues, which there's going to be, you've already gotten ahead of it and said, hey, I'm willing to do this for free because I know there are going to be things that I don't know how to deal with, but let me tell you how I'm going to get ahead of that, who I have to lean on. That's the key. Because if you say I'm this rock star agent and you're really not, and there's so many things that you don't know, you're setting yourself up with failure, and you're setting the expectations to be just destroyed with that seller versus, hey, I'm new. I've got a lot to learn. I know that, you know that. That's why I'm willing to do this for free. if you bear with me, I promise you, I've got this person to lean with, this person to lean on, and we're going to get through this. Now, when those things arise, you say, hey, I don't know, I'll figure it out, and you rock and roll through it. But that was really clear up front.
No doubt. No doubt. And so
the other thing I wanted to add is there's a world where you do this and you do get paid. Because of all the strategies you laid out, there's a high chance that you become a listing agent for free to avoid being a buyer's agent. And then guess what? You are a buyer's agent because you get the buyer and you get paid. So you get the best of both worlds, and you're being a listing agent, but getting paid as you would if you were the buyer's agent.
So good. I mean, it's such a really good point. I just hope that people that this upset, like, could get through this whole video just to listen to all these other points. I know it's unorthodox. I know no one talks about it in this business. I understand that. I know that this might rub you the wrong way. But Ben and I are when we sit here and we say, okay, we're looking to serve the real estate community. That's what we do for a living. Sometimes we have to go against the grain. And if you look at all the things that new agents struggle with, and you really, really consider this strategy for brand new agents that are struggling badly, I think you'll find there is a lot of upside. Can you argue the downside? You can argue the downside of anything. You can look at all the reasons on why this won't work. Sure. But there's a lot of upside. That was the point of this episode, was to have you open up your mind to say, okay, I never thought about that. I didn't think about that. And if you can just think a little bit long term, and you think about the opportunity, just like every other industry does, like if you just serve a few people and you can chalk up the loss of not getting paid on the first couple of deals, what that will do for you long term, that's the consideration.
I'll just end on this. And we're just riffing right now because this is fun.
Yeah.
If you went out and you started a business and you did believe, hey, I'm going to give away some stuff for free, the thing I think we're not considering is you have to give away your time to build, to deliver on the product. You a lot of times have to pay for the product. The smoothies that you were talking about, there's actually a loss. In this scenario, there's no money that you have to give up front. It's just your time. And that's the big consideration that of course there's signs, there's lock boxes, there's all that kind of stuff that you're going to have anyway.
Exactly.
Just like a store, but there's no physical product that you have to give away.
I mean, the argument that the people in the comments are going to make is, what about professional photos and the marketing and the yeah. Listen, if you're short-sighted, you'll look at the, I don't know, if a total cost of a listing is let's just say it's $1,500. Again, look at the alternative. Look at the alternative. How hard would it be for a new agent to go out there and secure their listing? How long would that take? And how much pain would they have to go through to get the listing? And to your point, they're going to have to make that investment anyways, right? And so you can either wait a long time, or pretty quickly after starting, you could start getting some momentum, because again, if you don't have a listing, then it's real hard to generate more listings. That's the whole key. The whole key is to have a listing, right, that serves as your foundation for your lead generation. And I gave like 5 examples. There's literally 500 ways to leverage a listing. But if you don't have one, it makes it really difficult. So it's like, try to get that listing as fast as you can, however you can get it, so that you can leverage it and start to build your business. But if you prolong that for a really, really long time, because it's like, I don't want to give up the $1,500, if you know what I mean, that's so short-sighted.